What's up, y'all? Thank you for viewing the In Between series, the show where young folks honor the space between their dreams and their realities. Here with me today, we have Ebony Love, Frankie,
What's up?
Sharon, CJ, and over here we have Brenton, Jess, Tiana, and Courtney. So I'm really excited about this episode today. I think it's one of our most important conversations that we're going to have on this show, and that is essentially is asking you all, how do you feel? How do you feel, and how do you take care of yourself? So what's going on with y'all? Are y'all treating yourselves well? How is this life treating y'all?
I meditated before I came to it.
You said you meditated?
Going, girl.
You do. Yeah. So why do you feel like your energy is pulling you to cleanse and like meditate? Like what's going on, and like where does that come from?
I personally think it comes from when you're working with a lot of people, when you're constantly working, constantly talking to people, constantly giving your energy. You have to take time to get back to yourself. And a lot of times that just means being still.
Yeah.
And in our society, being on social media, going to work, come home, going out with your friends, whatever you may be doing, sometimes it's hard to find that quiet space to just reflect on how you feel.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel it's really important to take some time for yourself.
I like to start my morning fresh and just understand that it's a new day and cleanse yesterday. I mean,
yeah.
Here we are, it's new beginnings, new comings.
Yeah.
You know?
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
Someone tweeted the other day, what if like your therapy was just telling yourself, it'd be like that sometimes. Like, is that productive? Is that helpful? Like,
it is very productive because I think sometimes you get so obsessed with just the day-to-day ups and downs that you don't realize that there's a general like story arc here.
Yeah.
Where that there's going to be ups and downs, but where we're going is so much more important than the ups and downs. You have to make peace with them each day. So, and I struggle with that.
The teacher says that. Do we ever have those conversations where we're acknowledging like today was a badass day? Like who can you be open to about that, and without being judged or like creating this stigma of who you are?
So,
is it possible?
I think that it's hard sometimes to really find somebody that you trust enough to just be completely transparent to. And I think that it first starts off with just being transparent to yourself. Because if you can't be real with yourself, it doesn't matter how many people you talk to. At the end of the day, those people you talk to go home to their lives, their families, their jobs, and you are stuck with yourself. So if you aren't confident or are honest with yourself, somebody can give you the best speech of life. But if you're not internalizing it and can't take that as your own truth, once you get in your own quiet time, it's going to do the same thing it was before you talk to them. So I think that, self-awareness and self-accountability is really important.
But where do we pull it from, Frankie? Because ain't no self-help book, it's not enough sage, it's not enough incense. So you can't just read and like get this stuff like poured into you, and if you don't know how to process it, I think there's like an intellectual portion of, like self-care, but there's also there's something else there that it needs in order to like really change like how you feel and operate by yourself.
I think that God energy and that ultimate knowing is inside of me at all times. Like this may be what it is in the moment, but this is not the grand scheme of things. Like I don't know how to necessarily like voice that, but as long as I got God's energy within me and all around me, this is not the end. Like,
I agree.
Go ahead, CJ.
What you're saying, I feel like even with the self-help stuff, like, I read a lot of those types of books, and it's just about, you have to put in the work too, like, because a lot of people read all the self-help books in the world, but they don't apply what's on the first page. So who cares that you read 20 books in a year if you didn't apply one page of it? So going back to God energy, faith without works is dead. So you have to keep moving and keep trying and experiment and mess up and fall on your face and, come at the end of the day and say, oh, this is terrible. Oh, I tried to do that at least. So let me try this different tomorrow. You know,
Yeah.
so
Definitely. And also figuring out what works for you, because you may meditate, but that may not work for me. I'm a writer, so I journal and I read and I talk to God, you know, like you said, having that God energy. So for me, it's writing. Writing is healing. Writing has helped me throughout a lot of different situations.
And it goes back to like what you said, be like that sometimes. You have to understand you make the decision to say I'm a soldier or I'm a civilian. You get what I'm saying? When you're a soldier, you understand that you have to take bullets for people. You have to still be a good soldier, even if your battle buddy is, just for the greater good, to protect those that are watching you. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it just be like that. Like, as a soldier, you get the behind the scenes of like what the president is doing. Civilians don't get that. You know, you get that access to hire. You know, and when you get that access to hire, you
And I
automatically.
would say, I think one thing that I am learning to navigate is how to help myself by allowing people to help me. So I think that as millennials, we are so strong, we're so resilient, we're so know-it-all, but at the end of the day, getting a therapist, there's nothing wrong with having a therapist. There's nothing wrong with having, I mean, honestly, my therapist helps me to get myself together, because it's really not about just going to talk to someone. It's really about going to be able to process your feelings, and also having mentors, having life coaches, having, you know, good friends around you. Sometimes all your friends are not meant to know all your business, but sometimes there are those two friends that would be like, girl, or get it together, or, you know, just being able to share those, like you said, everything doesn't work for everyone, so let's be able to share those things. I don't think we have enough open conversations about what actually helps us, and a lot of times, you know, people will be like, well, you know what, just pray about it, but sometimes people don't really know how to pray, or just meditate. Meditation is hard, so how can we have those open dialogues and be able to help each other without judging?
I think the conversation has to be so transparent so that people know, like, what I'm going through is universal but still unique to me.
Yes.
And I, like I said, and today I'm struggling, right? And like a lot of times, like when you say, like when you admit you're having a difficult time, people push to you to hurry up and fix it.
Yeah.
But they never tell you how to process it. So can we just for a second? Because people need to know what our difficult times look like, so they're not out here thinking that we out here shining, we don't do nothing.
I was gonna say, for me, like, I think one of the biggest things that I'm dealing with right now is just feeling very like stagnant and where I am. And I think that as a creative, sometimes, you know, we have so many ideas and we try to do so many things, and, you know, sometimes if things aren't working out, then we get depressed and sad. It's like, you know, that question, is this what I'm really supposed to be doing? Like, because nothing has worked out at this point, and it's just like, when do I keep fighting, or is this like, do I just hang it up?
But I think the crazy thing about what you just said is that all of us nodded when you talked about feeling stagnant.
Yes.
I feel like that's just part of the millennial condition, especially for folks like us and for viewers who are really just dedicated to their ventures and building their futures. And something that I've had to kind of start training myself to do is, one, whenever I don't feel well, because I'm a person who deals with like anxiety. You know, there are days when I have nervous breakdowns. It seems like periodically I have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I just came out of one like last week. I had to take a day off work. You know, but I did that, and what got me out of that, other than talking to my wonderful mother, is trusting that God put this vision in me on purpose.
Right.
You know, like seriously.
Purpose.
I didn't hit a blunt and say, oh, I'm gonna start a business. You know what I mean? It was through different experiences and seeing what the world was like for workers and saying, you know what, I'm going to change what a company, I want to change how companies run and how they're structured. You know?
Yeah.
So it was like, I had to continue to work on my faith and say, you know what, God, I wouldn't have thought of this. This wouldn't be here. These opportunities wouldn't be coming to me if this wasn't for something greater.
Yeah.
Right.
And I often
And since
deal
you
with
brought
that.
up, sorry, Sharon, since you brought up anxiety, What are some other like mental health disorders
Ooh,
that
yeah.
people?
I be like, yo, am I depressed? Like, what's going on? Like, I be having to ask myself, like, is this what depression feels like? You know, you don't be knowing.
Yeah,
For the longest time, like I thought I was depressed, but I wasn't like 100% sure. 'Cause I was
Yeah.
like, am I just like being over dramatic?
Yeah.
Or am I really sad? Like what's the problem?
Yeah.
But like what made me feel so much better, like one day, because I would like text my friends like, today wasn't a good day. I was crying, I was doing all this extra shit, whatever. But then one day I got up and I was like, you know what, girl, you're depressed. And that's okay. And me saying it out loud, like me verbalizing that, I was like, oh, the table is shaking. I finally was like, okay, I understand what the issue is. I've come to terms with it. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
What am I going to do to fix it? So I was listening to Amanda Sales podcast, Small Doses,
I
and
love
one thing that
it.
resonated
Yes,
with me,
I
she
love
said,
her.
are you a victim or a volunteer? And I said, wow, don't be rude.
Don't be.
I felt seen. I felt so seen. I was like, okay, all right. Read me. Right. But then eventually I was like, all right, like, what am I doing to get out of this? And a lot of times, too, when we talk about talking with our friends, I'll tell my friends, oh, I feel this way, I feel that way. And I'm not necessarily talking to them for them to give me all of these tools, but I'm just like, I need to talk to somebody because there's a lot of commotion going on in here. And, well, then I had a friend ask me, well, what are you doing other than talking to us? Again, don't be rude, I feel seen. Right. So then really I just had to like fight for myself. So I was like, if somebody would have asked me for advice, like, hey, I've been feeling anxious, I've been doing this. And I'm like, oh, well, why don't you try this, 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 and this? But was I trying that? No, I was just laying in my funk. So I just had to get up out of it.
Something that I paid attention to recently, and it just came to me one day. Like I was looking at my surroundings, and it didn't really align with what I was thinking that I should have. And something really just dawned on me and said, sometimes you're put in situations to know who you are not. Like, point blank period. What I'm saying around me is not me.
Right.
And I would have never known unless I had been in that situation. So I also think it's important for your own mental health and well-being is to acknowledge that you can't really determine your self-esteem based off of your surroundings, because your surroundings are going to change constantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just something that dawned on me recently. Like, I may not be where I want to be right now, but I have to figure out a way to be okay inside and not need that to determine who I am. That's just something that
And I think I learned that when I was going through a really tough time. Like, I mean, it felt like one thing after the other. It became to the point where I got a boot on my car and I was just like, ha! Okay. Alrighty then. And it dawned on me that, my circumstances does not define who I am, and I had to build myself up. And that's when I really started to get into like mindfulness and taking care of myself, because I realized, I don't know how long these circumstances are going to last, but do I want to be miserable throughout all of these circumstances and allow that to define like who I am right now? No. So you have to kind of like figure out how to manage your pain sometimes, because everyone is going through something and you can get through it.
And I think that, I'm sorry.
And that, no, just really quick, and that just goes to say it's not all about, what you go through, but more so how you go through it. It's about perspective and your mindset.
You mentioned being a volunteer versus a victim. What does that look like? Like,
So for like me personally, as a victim of depression, it's like, okay, this is happening. I'm dealing with this mental health struggle, yada yada yada. And let's say it's been like 6 months. When am I going to eventually get up and be like, I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm tired of laying in this sadness and, like my loss of appetite, I couldn't sleep, my hair was falling out, I was uninterested in everything, like I wasn't answering my phone. One of my friends called the police and had them come to my apartment because I did not answer my phone. She thought I tried to kill myself. Like, it was crazy because I was just so like antisocial, like the complete polar opposite of myself. So being a volunteer, I was just like letting life happen to me. I was like, oh, I got a ticket. I don't have any food in my refrigerator. I have the money and I have the gas in my car to go to the store, but I'm so tired, I'm not gonna go. That's what I mean being a volunteer. So eventually, I just got tired of it. I was like, you know what? You a bad bitch.
Right.
And it's okay, like, and bad bitches can be sad. But I'm not meant to be sad forever. And then when I was just seeing how my interactions, like with my friends and my family, like my mom was really worried about me because we talk almost every day, egging all her shit. I was just like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, somebody's texting me, calling me, emailing me. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Yes, isolation. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I wasn't talking to my boyfriend. I wasn't talking to my roommate. I was just like, LOL, be back in about probably a month.
That's real. That's so real.
Somebody needs our help.
help. We got a submission, and it is, the subject says, in between hurt and passionate. So, dear panelists, I never take anything someone says as fact. Sadly, I'm here to say that the rumors are true and post-grad depression is real, at least for me. With student debt, bills, everyday struggles, it is really hard to thrust your energy into a new or pre-existing project. What advice would you give for creators who are struggling to put love into their work when they are spare of love to give? Poets.
I say when.
It's
not
It's more. Should I work on my healing before I pursue my passions, or is it possible to transform as I'm pursuing them? What are your thoughts?
Sorry, okay. I think you can transform while you're going through it because a big thing that I was doing, I was like, once I'm done, being in this rut, I'm gonna get back to painting. I'm gonna get back to doing makeup. I'm gonna get back to drawing. I'm gonna get back to blogging. But it was just like tomorrow.
Something that you have to get past in order to be your highest
Right. And I feel like you have to, like you said, it's not about what you're going through, it's how you go through it. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna keep putting this off. It's never going to get done. I'm not going to learn anything from this. So like me being resilient enough to be like, all right, I'm going to get through this and I'm going to slowly but surely get back into the things that I'm genuinely interested and invested in. That helped me get out of my funk. Because I was just like, you know what, bitch, you still got it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and that taught me, and then also being able to transform my feelings into my art.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is how I felt today. I painted it. Bad bitch, Picasso. You know what I mean?
And whatever art that you can like actually express how you're feeling. Like, does anybody else do that? Like, do you art too?
I definitely.
Yeah.
My blog.
Like,
So my blog is Set Your Soul on Fire, and it's basically about helping people to find their purpose. Because I feel like I found my purpose, but there's a lot of things that you experience finding your purpose. It's hard. And so through writing those blog posts, I have been able to kind of heal myself. I don't write a post unless I've learned something. So I'm not about to tell you something I haven't been through myself. And so I think that a lot of times we have to find those different things that we can give outlets for, because if we're not able to kind of express how we got through something, then sometimes we feel like we haven't really moved to the next level, like level up.
I think
Level up.
For me, I look at it kind of like, my journey and kind of my path as a creative is like a movie. And in speaking to the person as well, they seem to kind of be like at an impasse or something where they're trying to figure something out. And when you think about it, like sometimes when you're watching a movie and you're going through it, you need to pause it to kind of either like assess what just happened or to go handle something, use the bathroom, come back. But a pause isn't permanent. It only, in your dreams and your goals, like if you put a pause on it because you have to, or the life put a pause on it, it doesn't become permanent until you push stop. There's the option when you're paused to either push play and keep it pushing, or to stop it and let it go. And I just think that if you think about your life and your situations as being, your situations are only temporary. Your life has just put a pause on it, but it's your choice to push that play button, and you push it when you're ready, when you've got your life together, when you're able to appreciate your own work, when you're able to pour your, get your energy back up. Maybe you got to push pause because you're spent. You don't have any love else to give because you've been giving it out. So you need time for yourself. But when you're ready to push that play button, just make sure that you are ready so that way your art doesn't continue to suffer. And
I gotta say that's something that I, to this day, don't know how to do. And I think one of the reasons why I've developed some of the mental health issues I have is because I don't know how to press pause. The way I've dealt with things is by just building and pushing through, and there's a positive aspect to that because I've been able to accomplish certain things. But at the same time, it's like I be feeling spread thin. Like, how like you get like to the bottom of the butter, you know what I'm saying? And you try to put some shit on your toast and ain't shit. But you try to spread anyway. That is literally me sometimes, and I feel like I needed to hear that, and I really appreciate what you just said.
I was mentioning to myself because I need to do that. It just kind of dropped into my spirit. I thank God for dropping that to me because I feel like, it has to happen. And we shouldn't get to the point where we collapse under the weight of the pressure that we put on ourselves until we're like,
That's like my favorite saying, free yourself. And Erykah Badu, Bag Lady. That's real. Why not own this shit? I don't need it no more. It's weighing me down. What were you gonna say?
Oh, okay. So I finally had my first art show about 3 weeks ago, and I've been painting, teaching myself how to paint. Thanks, guys.
Right.
So I began teaching myself how to paint like 2-3 years ago, and I actually have a couple of hundred of paintings. Like I have a lot of paintings. So I have friends that are very supportive of me, and they've been pushing for me to have an art show for a long time. But I believe that pause button is very important as well, and nobody really understood my process as I was moving through it. But there's times where I have to respect how I feel and move with that. And sometimes it's not pushing myself more and burning myself out. It's taking that space for myself to breathe and find that inspiration and that motivation again to continue creating the way that's truthful, you know? So that pause is important when you need it.
I understand that. So, Brenton and then CJ, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
So what I was gonna say is, though those spaces in our life, they're super dark, we can't sit here and lie and say something much more beautiful hasn't birthed out of that time. You get what I'm saying? Like everything that I've been through, everything that has plagued my life, you know, it's been used for a purpose. And I think in understanding that, even while we're going through it, helps us to kind of say like, okay, like I gotta get up and understand that there's something better, you know, out there. Because like you said, if I haven't been through it, how can I reach somebody else? You know, so it's worth it. You have to in order to talk to other people.
Well, this is more of a question to everyone, and just the mental health conversation that's been going on. I just try to think about it and think of all perspectives, and I think, do you guys think it's a mental health thing going on, or do you guys think we're just young and we don't really know what we're doing yet?
I think
like,
it's both.
You know,
because again, it's like you develop. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
All I was gonna say is that I think our generation has to be open about the mental health issues we have because we're developing them. Like these are things that we develop over time. You know, I mean, again, this economy is trash. The economy's trash. We're creating our own careers. Sometimes our families don't understand. Sometimes our friends don't understand. They look at us like we're crazy. We're making something out of nothing every day, right? So the pressure of that, we're like crumbling under the weight of it because we can't press pause, or we feel like we can anyway. So it's like we're developing these things. So I think it's both.
Yeah, absolutely.
That in addition to the trauma that you have to like already heal from.
Exactly. I was about to say that a lot of times we think that we're in this time now where mental health is like a buzzword, right? Like mental health, self-care, stigma, all those different things is a buzzword. But honestly, mental health is important when you come out the womb. There's small little kids who are going through a lot of traumatic things. So a lot of times when we get to being 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, we have all this childhood trauma that we have not even unpacked. So think about that on top of trying to be a citizen and a responsible adult. Sometimes it's hard.
Pay your rent.
Pay your rent.
And pay your loan.
Pay your loan.
Yeah. Courtney, and then we really got her.
I kind of think we have a way of like disrespecting the realm and the wide spectrum of being a human being, and like we like to place a lot of love on the positive end of the spectrum, but we have an entire other end of emotions that come with being a human being that we are rightful to feel at the times that we feel them. And I think what fucks us up is we place judgment upon it upon simply observing it. And if you just observe it and allow yourself to move through that space and recognize that you won't be in that space forever, you will always, you know, experience the whole realm. Maybe if we, you know, stopped placing so much judgment and allowed ourselves to be in that space, we wouldn't make our burdens even worse.
Something that I would just like to personally close with is that this path from like your dream to your reality is not linear. It is circular. And like, you're going to be high, you're going to be low. You're going to be high, you're going to be low, and you're always going to learn something and get something from it. But if you're expecting like this uproot like path, it's just that's what's going to fuck you up even more.
I'll say one last thing when you're finished.
Go ahead, Courtney.
These are just a few notes as we were talking that I wanted to say. But a warrior does not worry. And if you are waiting for the right time, you will be waiting for a lifetime. But divine time is always now.
I like that. That's better than my finger quote. I want to thank everyone back home for watching, and I had a really good time discussing this.
All right, bye.